Titan, second largest moon in the solar system, and it is a moon of a gas giant, Saturn. Titan is even a bit bigger than the smallest planet, Mercury, so it is quite a large object, and by far one of the most interesting objects in the solar system. With 5,100 kilometers in diameter, it is bigger than the moon but has a little less than half the diameter of Earth. Still, it has 1/6 the surface area of Earth, or has the same surface area as Europe, Asia, and Africa combined. Titan is huge. Interestingly, Titan has a very thick atmosphere. It was discovered that its atmosphere stretches over 600 kilometers above the surface. That's even more than Earth's 470 kilometer atmosphere. And despite Titan having even lower gravity than our moon, it has a thicker atmosphere than Earth. The pressure on the surface of Titan is 1.5 times more than that of Earth. It is as well not even known why Titan is the only moon in the solar system to have any thick atmosphere, when there are other big moons. That is quite a mystery. It resembles an atmosphere that Earth had before cyanobacteria produced oxygen on Earth. It is 98% nitrogen. So, standing on the surface of Titan, you would only need protection from the cold, since Titan is minus 170 Celsius on average, and you would need oxygen. But there would be no need for pressurized suits, since the pressure is a little more than that on the surface of Earth. It would feel as if you were at the bottom of a normally deep pool on Titan. Now, the really weird part of Titan is its lakes. They are made of methane and ethane, and because they are not water, they stay liquid even at minus 170 Celsius. And we might as well call these things seas, because the largest sea on Titan, Kraken Mare, with 400,000 kilometers square, is 1.6 times bigger than United Kingdom, and is bigger than the largest lake on Earth, Caspian Sea. Yeah, that's the name. And Titan as well has rivers. One of the longest ones is Vid Flumina, which is 400 kilometers long, and is emptying into Ligeia Mare. So we can clearly see that these are significant chunks of liquid methane and ethane. And Titan is quite an alive place, with sand dunes that change because of wind, methane rains and islands reappearing and disappearing. Now, there is evidence of wind on Titan, but for some reason these seas and lakes have no waves, not even tiny ones, which is kind of a mystery. Also, these seas are about 200 meters deep. So then an interesting scenario pops up. What would swimming in these magnificent lakes feel like? So let's say you wanted to swim in the second largest lake on one of the islands on Ligeia Mare. The lake would seem very dark and big. It would cross over the horizon. It would look kinda like an ocean. Water as well as the surface would be dark and a bit brown. And depending on where you look at it, Saturn would appear somewhere. In all its glory, it would appear gigantic, many times bigger than Moon does from Earth. So then, let's swim, and let's say you found a cliff by the side of the lake on Titan, and you jump. Falling would be many times slower than on the Earth, but eventually you will splash into the sea, and with jumping in it, you would sink to the bottom of the sea very fast. A meter at the sea's bottom, everything would be kinda dark and uncomfortable. You would need to push the methane many times harder to get to the surface of the lake. It would be extremely exhausting to swim in it, many times harder than swimming in water. It would feel a lot more like pushing some type of air. If you stay for a bit, you would drown from exhaustion, but you would still survive since you already had brought oxygen. Also, you should have a good protection from the cold, since it is extremely cold. You could flash freeze instantly. You would as well need a spacesuit for that swimming. So we can see that swimming in these seas would be very hard and overall not pleasant at all. But what about flying on Titan? Because of gravity that is 1.35 meters per second square, which is 7 times weaker than Earth's surface gravity, even a bit weaker than our moon's, and because of such a thick atmosphere with winds, just with artificial wings you could fly the whole surface of Titan. Not any more things would be needed. No fuel. And with that you could see the tallest mountain on Titan, Mithraeum Montes, standing 3,300 meters tall, with methane snow on the top. You could fly over Titan's seas and see them shining. You could see the large sand dunes created on Titan by wind. Occasionally, methane would rain while flying as well. It would be quite a great visit to another world. And would prove that there are other worlds, not just the Earth. So we can see that Titan is something humanity should look forward to. It is the only body besides Earth that contains large bodies of liquid, and there have been a few missions proposed to send a submarine to Titan and or send type of a boat that would sail the seas and explore. Thankfully, Titan got the attention it needed, but since it is 1.4 billion kilometers away from the Sun, that is a long journey, and humanity still has a limitation on how far it can send humans. But in future, hopefully this generation or any other will be able to see the true beauty of Titan.